Standing in the middle of the hospital waiting room, it felt like time had stopped. My son, Leo, sat on the exam table, pale but brave, a fresh cut marking his little forehead. And across the room stood Ethan, the man who'd once left me at the altar. The sight of him sent me spiraling back to that day. I was 27, glowing with excitement, believing I was about to marry the love of my life. Ethan was everything I'd ever wanted: smart, confident, and endlessly charming. We met at a tech startup event in San Francisco. I worked in marketing, and he was the golden boy of software development. Our love story felt like a dream: late night coding at his apartment, takeout from our favorite Italian bistro, laughter echoing through the night. His mother, Victoria, welcomed me warmly at first. A powerful corporate lawyer, she carried herself like someone used to having control. She'd invite me for tea in her elegant penthouse, sharing stories of Ethan's childhood and his genius mind. For a while, I truly thought I'd found a second mother. But everything changed the moment I got pregnant. Ethan was thrilled. We decided to move up the wedding so our baby would be born into a family. That's when Victoria's warmth faded. Her smiles became stiff, her eyes cold and calculating. She began questioning my past and whether I was truly ready to be a mother. I brushed it off as nerves. The wedding day arrived and I felt like a princess. My white dress hugged my small baby bump, and as I walked down the aisle, I saw Ethan waiting. So handsome in his black tuxedo, eyes full of love. The church smelled of roses, the air buzzing with joy. Then the priest asked, "Does anyone object?" And my heart froze when Victoria stood up. Her voice sliced through the silence. "I have proof that the child she's carrying isn't my son's." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Ethan's face drained of color as Victoria handed him an envelope. Inside were fake documents, forged medical records, staged photos, lies carefully designed to destroy me. I tried to speak, to explain, but my throat locked. Ethan's expression hardened, then he turned and walked away without a word. The church erupted in whispers and pitying stares. I ran outside, tears blurring my vision, my veil snagging on a rosebush. I ended up in the park where Ethan and I used to share picnics. My father found me hours later, sobbing in my ruined dress. The days that followed were a nightmare. News outlets splashed my humiliation everywhere. The pregnant bride left at the altar. I couldn't step outside without hearing whispers. Ethan never called. It was as if I'd vanished from his world entirely. But I refused to let Victoria's cruelty define me. I called my old boss, who welcomed me back to work. I took charge of a new digital marketing project and poured myself into it. Even with my growing belly, I felt powerful again, building something for my future and my child. When Leo was born, the pain and beauty of that moment changed everything. His tiny face, his deep brown eyes, Ethan's eyes, reminded me of what truly mattered. With my parents' help, I raised Leo with all the love I had. My father, a gentle school teacher, taught him about nature and kindness. My mother, a retired nurse, was my rock. I worked hard, climbing my way to vice president of digital strategy. Life was finally steady, until the past found me again. One morning, a silver rattle arrived at my office. It was identical to the one Ethan had as a baby. My stomach twisted. Victoria, she was still watching us. Around the same time, Leo began asking questions about his dad. "Mommy, why don't I have a daddy?" he asked one afternoon at the park, eyes wide with innocence. My chest ached, but I smiled and told him, "Your daddy lives far away, but he loves you very much." Now here I was, back in that hospital room, face to face with Ethan after all these years. His eyes widened as he looked from me to Leo, the truth dawning on him. "You look like me," Leo said with childlike curiosity. "Did you eat ice cream after you left last time?" Ethan's voice trembled. "What's his name? How old is he?" I swallowed hard. "His name is Leo. He's 4. Before either of us could say more, a nurse appeared, telling Ethan that his mother's condition had worsened. He looked torn, desperate to stay, but duty pulling him away. Leo, sweet as ever, said softly, "You should go help her. Moms need us when they're sick." Ethan knelt, tears in his eyes. "Thank you, buddy. I'll come back to see you." And then he was gone. I pulled Leo close, my heart heavy but hopeful. This was the start of something new, a story I hadn't expected, but one I was ready to live. That evening, Ethan texted. Victoria had suffered a massive heart attack and refused surgery until she saw Leo. My first instinct was to say no, to protect the little boy she'd once tried to erase. But when I looked at Leo, I saw his pure heart, his capacity for forgiveness. I couldn't deny him the chance to meet her. We went to the hospital. Victoria looked small and fragile in her bed, a shadow of the powerful woman she once was. When she saw Leo, her eyes filled with tears. He shyly handed her a half-finished postcard and said, "I made this for you, but I still need to add more glitter." She smiled weakly. "It's beautiful. Is this a family?" Leo nodded proudly, pointing at his drawing. The big bird is Dad, the middle one's Mommy, and the little one's me. Tears streamed down Victoria's cheeks. I'm so sorry, she whispered. I made a terrible mistake. Leo tilted his head and asked, Did you say sorry enough? Her voice cracked. Not enough, but I'll try. In that fragile moment, something inside me softened. Maybe, just maybe, there was hope for healing. 6 months later, Victoria had recovered and changed. Therapy had helped her face her guilt and jealousy. Ethan and I had slowly begun rebuilding trust, co-parenting Leo with open hearts. Every weekend, we'd take him to the park, watching his laughter fill the air. At his school play, he was a brave little knight, standing tall on stage while we watched from the audience, proud beyond words. After the show, Victoria approached me gently. I've written a confession, she said. Everything I did, all the lies. I want you to read it when you're ready. I nodded, feeling a quiet peace settle over me. Our story hadn't ended with a perfect wedding. It had begun with a shattered one. But through Leo's innocent love, we found something stronger than pain. A love built on forgiveness, growth, and second chances.